Hey guys, Bolt Entertainment. Bolt here with SB Studios. Now, first of all, had to do an Ed and Eddie to adjust the camera real quick. It was messing with me a little bit. It still kind of is, but this is the best we're probably going to get, maybe. Because it's a weird positioning for the camera. I need to get a tripod for it. But anyways, I completely didn't notice that this was not done yet. So I had to put on a shirt that's very sweaty because I was about to go to sleep. It's very hot today, the day I'm recording this. So I had to shred a shirt. So I had to go take this from the laundry because tomorrow's shower day. So I didn't want to put any clean clothes on. But anyways, it's like, okay, I forgot a thing. I'm going to throw this on real quick and do it. As the title suggests, we are doing the summary of Season 1 of Helluva. So I believe it's been 2 months that you're seeing this video. Since Episode 8 came out of freaking left field and said, hey, I exist again. It's like, I'm sorry, I've been waiting this for like a good minute. This year has been so hype between 2 games of Five Nights at Freddy's, the DLC and the full release, and also the movie, and then you're throwing like a bunch of superhero movies, which The Flash is the bottom of the barrel, where like the Spider into the Spider-Verse is like here. It has a little bit of complaints, but it for the most part did pretty good. So this year's going to be back and forth with movies. The other bad thing that's happening right now is that a lot of movie theaters, especially reels, are going out of business. So if I want to have the movie theater treatment, I have to go hunting for one right now. Because the only one that's near me is a third party that shows upcoming film directors, not big ones. It doesn't show the new upcoming movies or anything. It shows something that this one developer that no one knows his name or her name or their name and just shows it. But anyways, this year is bomb. Now that we had Season 2, Episode 4 come out last few months, and now we have Episode 8 that finishes off the Season 1. And now you're also telling me that Episode 5 is coming out here. Either it's probably out by now, or it's got a soon to be released. So we are getting close to the end of Season 2, which I'll do a summary for the end of Season 2. But for right now, we have Season 1. So Season 1 starts with the pilot, not Episode 1, Murder Family. But the pilot is basically just like, hey, this is IMP, a hired imp business where this one guy who used to be a clown, his name was Blitzo, but he made the O silent. And then you had Luna, which is his adoptive daughter. And then he has 2 co-workers, Moxie and Millie, who are a married couple. And basically all of them have their good points in, they have some good skills. But like their whole company is, hey, if you were wrong, it's hell. There's sinners. They're in the Pride Ring, which is basically there's the 7 rings of hell, I believe, or something like that. And this is Lucifer's ring. This is where he rules the domain. He rules all of hell, but he primarily rules this. The rest of them are for the princess's hell. So Pride is where all the sinners go. The sinners cannot go to any of the other rings because they are on an elevator. But thing is, they are stuck to this one ring. And this is also where Hazbin Hotel comes in. So when Hazbin Hotel comes out, which I hear is coming out as well this year, it'll explain more about the Pride Ring. But we're kind of in the business areas where the hell spawns are making a business. So basically, sinners, if someone's done you wrong in real life, we will have you pay us so we can go up to the surface and kill them. Which the only reason they can is because Blitz, the owner, the CEO, has went and got laid by a Prince of Hell, Stolas, which we don't know what ring or what part he rules. He's a part of the Goetia, which are our avian leader of hell. But I think they just kind of watch over stuff. I think that's what they are. Is the avian demon, royal demons are more of like they control a concept. Stolas is kind of to look over space, and like I think it's mostly the outer existence is what Stolas kind of watches, meteorites and how things will end up. He's got like future sight. But basically he has a book that kind of is able to show this, and it's his way of studying it. Well, he takes that and does Blitz takes that and runs off, but it makes trouble for Stolas because he's married to another girl named Stella, who I believe is a part of a lower avian family, but they're still royalty, I guess. They're still higher ups. But anyway, she's, I think it's like an arranged marriage. That way they can make it heir. But anyways, because he just runs out and says, hey, I screwed your husband, they are now into, like, disarray as a marriage. But basically it's just, hey, we have a book. Let's go kill some people for money. And they end up injuring this kid by accident. And lo and behold, it was the kid who they're supposed to assassinate. So they're like... and basically they have some kind of family dynamic as the IMPs. And I think that's basically it for pilot. Episode 1 is where you actually get the meat of Helluva Boss, where it's just like their actual characteristics start coming out. Blitz is this person that kind of is a party soul, and he kind of doesn't care whatever other people think about him, and he kind of just does his own thing and doesn't really care for personal space. Millie is a farm girl who has a killer instinct, and when she gets attached to someone, she's very loyal to them. Moxie's kind of the businessman, but he's also a shy guy. But he's very good with guns. Millie is a physical fighter where he's a ranged fighter. And then there's Blitz, who's a more... Blitz is a stronger breed of imp. And he's not only stronger than Millie and Moxie, but he also is like got more durability. It's genes, it's DNA for imps. But anyways, he also is pretty good with guns, not as good as Moxie. And in Season 2, we understand why Moxie's so good with guns. But Millie is a farm body, so she's had to deal with slaughtering animals and other stuff, so she's rough and tough. But anyways, then we have Luna, who, the adopted daughter of Blitz. She's more of a secretary, so she kind of just takes the phone calls and says, hey, what do you want us to do? Get me a picture of this person and we'll deal with it. And basically, there's a teacher who's one of the nicest persons in the world. She could have gone to heaven easily. But thing is, she goes to her kids and says, who's having a good day. And I believe there's the one that's always in the corner with the little hat. He says, I think her husband's birthday is today, and she completely forgot. So when she goes to celebrate by having her class say happy birthday, she does a live feed, and guess what? Her husband's cheating with this blonde girl, and basically she goes straight to the house, kills the husband, but misses the shot to kill the mistress, and she, I think, unalives herself. So not only has she committed murder, attempted another murder, and then did a unalive, that is easily going from heaven to you're going to hell. And I believe she also did some nasty business to the kids at the very last second before she left. But anyways, she learns that the mistress was alive, and she's getting known as a hero because she survived the attack from the wife, the teacher. So she's getting celebrated at, and the teacher's like, I don't like it. She's the whole reason why I'm here, so I want her taken out. So she's here with me, because she was being a mistress to a husband, so that's lust. Anyways, so they go up there, they go to take her out, but guess what? She's married with some kids, and they go to take her out, and Moxie's wavering because he is a good soul. He doesn't want to kill a family that's just innocent, and the mom is the only one a little bit at fault because she went and knocked boots with someone. But no, we learned that the kids, all of them, are psychopaths that will kill any other person that's in their area. The children are into taxidermy and not animal tax. Like they'll do taxidermy to animals, but also humans. And the mom and dad are basically the beef, the muscle, the ones that kind of get the dirty done. So basically, they'll do the killing, but the kids will do entertainment with the bodies. I believe they're able to kill the wife. Moxie and Blitz get caught thanks to Moxie. Millie and Blitz get caught because Moxie's not able to take the shot. Moxie gets captured by the kids and is about to get tortured, but then she hears that Millie's in trouble. He goes ballistic. He's trying not to harm them because he still has a heart, and he realizes that he's going to call the cops on him instead of trying to kill some kids. And he goes to pick up a remote, and they actually have some kind of normalcy, like, we got a TV for the kids, And so he does call the cops, and he goes to take out the wife, and they go to hell, and they think that, he thinks that the kids and the husband are going to be able to get away. The cops just demolish the house. So that entire family is gone. Episode 2 is basically, I believe, Stolas is dealing with the falling out with his wife Stella. He has a daughter named Octavia, who was this bright little girl who, based on like her life as a royalty and the fact that her dad and mom fight on a daily basis, she's turned into a depressed teenager. And she eventually wants time with her dad, but Stoles is like, hey, I'll take you out to go do something. Let's go to Lululand, which is like the park for cheapos. It's in the greed ring where everything is ripped off and all that. So they go in there. I think it's Asmodeus. Well, no, Asmodeus is Lust. But they go there, and basically they hire IMP to be bodyguards. Bliss will be around Stolas. All the Eminem is their name. Moxie and Millie. They go have fun. Which ends up having a guy hit on Millie, but Moxie goes different. Really, it's more of just like, hey, there's this freaky robo-clown of someone that knew Blitz. And Blitz actually was a clown at this circus. And he told crappy jokes and was one of the worst attraction of it, so he went and made a business for himself. And I believe he has a sister who was also hired for that. I believe, let's see. I don't think I can explain that one yet. Oh no, episode 2 is when we understand his origin. Well, anyways, the family of Blitz is from the circus. The parents were a part of the circus, and they had their own circus. But I think her name is Barbie Wires, Blitz's sister. They were a circus act for clowning. But anyways, basically he comes, fights in that robot. It's Fizzaroli was an ex-friend of his, and this is a robot version of him that has the characteristics of Fizzaroli. And basically Blitz fights the clown, demolishes all of the circus, and other people go to take out Stolas, but M&M are able to free him. He's able to go find Octavia, who, thanks to seeing the Fizzaroli, who she got terrified by as a kid, she ran off saying, "I hate coming here in the first place." And Stolas finds her, says, "What's wrong? Why are you not having fun?" Octavia, Via, we'll call her, is the best name. Hold on, actually. I have a million pins for Hasman Hotel and Helluva Boss, but I'm a collector. A little Via. Octavia and Luna are my favorites because they're animals and they're supposed to look cute in certain this right there is just adorable. I originally thought this was just her tongue going like, but I think it's her mouth being open like. But anyways, basically she's depressed because if it were for her whole family being happy, she'd have fun. But because it's just her father trying to make up for it and not have her mom by her side, she isn't as thrilled to be there. Which then Stolas is like, "Hey, how about let's go do something you want to do, and I'll try my best to be by your side." Which Via, of course, is like, "Oh, okay. At least you're trying, where my mom isn't." They eventually, M&M go and help Blitz with the robot. They destroy all of the circus, destroy the bot, and they go to drive Via to a taxidermy place. Call back to the last episode. Now to episode 3. This is a pretty quick one. They're going into work, but their spot is being taken by some succubuses, which is basically lustful demons that will lust someone into having sex with them. That way they go straight to hell, because when you have sex with them, it's binding your soul to hell. It's basically, hey, you'll have a good experience, but you're going straight to hell for it. And that's basically their whole business. And they also have magic that allows them to go to it. They also have mancubuses, which are the male version. But they're pansexual, so they'll go with anything. Basically, they're gonna go head up. They're set up at the same facility that Blitz is, because they're gonna have a huge thing where spring break for some college students are coming up, and she is got the main succubus of the group is Verosica, who is a pop star in hell, who actually has a identity in the human world as a pop star as well. And I believe she doesn't hide her name, it's just Verosica. But she has a human disguise because succubuses are supposed to look humanish, to attract people. So I believe the whole story was that Blitz actually dated Verosica, but when they went to bed, he stole her credit card and went on a spending spree between, I think, a car and some horse lessons. And she basically went bankrupt. Verosica is also a alcoholic. She went to rehab, where she also met Barbie Wire, Blitz's sister there. And basically she's coming out, but she still does it. Hell is hell. But anyways, she basically makes a competition with Blitz for the parking spot. That is it. like, hey, who can catch the most bodies, both by kills and by laying, to get this spot. And basically, spring break, you're going to get a lot of people who are horny caught into the mix. But then there's also the Blitz is like, okay, I want my spot, so they go on a discount for killing. Like, hey, this is spring break discount. We will go, like, I think it's 50% off is how they put it. And basically a bunch of people line up. They have this whole list of people to kill. But the thing is, the time it takes to lure people away from main site to kill them, it's taking them, it's 5 bodies for the others. But guess what? Verosica does get drunk, and her flask that has like a demon alcohol that actually it's good for them, but if it interacts with anything in the human world, it can mutate it. She throws it, it ends up in a fish's body, and that fish becomes a giant like Leviathan creature, and Moxie gets thrown into a cooler, gets drunk, gets eaten by the Leviathan fish, gets saved by Millie, and basically they would be the succubuses would have won in body count, but Blitz actually comes up and says, hey, well, Millie says, hey, we found your alcohol container, and we'll mention that you're the ones who caused the Leviathan to appear in the human world. The only thing that would cancel out them showing that would have been, no human disguises. But the problem is the alcohol Leviathan thing is a lot worse than no human appearances. So basically they won by blackmailing. And Moxie's holes got diddled by all the mancubus and succubus. Episode 4, the Cherubs, which are basically a 180 of the IMP group, which is basically some little angel creatures that are like heaven-born. They basically come in to bless a soul for people that got to heaven. Like, hey, can you bless my aunt, my uncle? Basically, it avoids them from dying. For how long? Nobody knows. But it shows a little bit that heaven will do anything just because. They don't even ask for money because there's no money needed. So anyways, they come in and bless this inventor who helped a lot of people's lives. But guess what? There's his partner who recently died went to hell and requested getting him killed. And basically they go up, the IMP goes up to kill him, but the Cherubs constantly trying to stop him. But the thing is, he has such a horrible life. He's an old man. He doesn't see anything for the future. So he wants to end it all. So while the IMP are trying to push him to go over the edge, the Cherubs are showing him what is good in life to make them happen. But basically every time the Cherubs do something, the IMP sees a loophole in it. And it's basically back and forth, but then they get into a fight over like name calling, and basically Moxie and Millie decide to, in the heat of battle, get hot and sweaty. And this actually shows an act that the old man is like, there's love in life. I can find someone, and it's such a gift in the world to see love. But by the time he actually wants to stay alive, something falls on him and it kills him. And that means IMP wins. They get out of there, but before the Cherubs can go after them, other Cherubs, like higher up Cherubs, come down and say, hey, because one of your customers' people had died under your supervision, you are going to be cast down from heaven. You are no longer a holy creature. And she goes back up. The deer girl, which I believe is actually voiced by Vivzy, goes up and basically the cherubs are stuck, and they're going to have revenge after of the IMP. So if you guys realized, there's a lot of people who have a revenge plan. Like, you can't send people to hell without them knowing who you are, seeing your business model, and knowing, hey, you're the ones who got me stuck here. So they're going to go after IMP. So there's the murder family. There is the people who run the circus, who they lost it to. There's Verosica, who, even though it's blackmailing, they will come after him. So they have circus people, the murderous family. They have the succubus and mancubus. I bet you some of the people from Spring Break are going to find them. The cherubs now. Basically, this entire season is building up to a revenge plot for all these people. Episode 5, though, is called The Harvest Moon Festival. So we had the pilot, the murder family, Lululand, which is a knockoff of Lucifer's Lululand with U's, and then there's Spring Broken, and then there's Cherub, and this is the Harvest Moon Festival, where Stolas is going to the Wrath Ring, where most imps are actually populated. This is where, like, they harvest the food for hell, and they actually, deal with creatures and all that. And this is where they're going to go to Millie's farm with her parents and siblings, including her brother, transgender sister, I think, basically, transgender sister. And basically Moxie gets looked down on by her parents, and Blitz is there to kind of show how good of a job they do. They run into the anti-hero of the thing, Stryker, who is basically the same genetic higher up of an imp that is Blitz. So basically strength, height, and durability, height. He's a snake imp, I believe it is. He's a snake-bred imp. And basically they're basically tied in strength, but Blitz is more like he's in a higher physical job, so Blitz does get one over on Stryker on some things. But eventually, between them being tied, Stryker keeps showing to Millie's parents and to Millie that he is the better one in almost everything over Moxie. Moxie tries to prove himself in the harvest festivals, like tug of war and all that stuff, and he gets demolished. Eventually, Moxie runs onto Stryker's room, which he has a holy tipped rifle, which is basically, it's a weapon that can kill sinners, and it can kill the royal families of hell. So basically, they took, I believe in Hadbin Hotel, they explained it. There are spears that the angels that come down and they wipe out a bunch of sinners so that they can make room for more. They leave behind a lot of spears, which are actually holy tipped, which are the only things that can kill sinners and other hell higher ups. And sinners and other demons will take that, hold onto the spear, or melt it down into other components, which guns are a big thing. That's a ranged weapon that can kill. So they find a rifle that's meant to kill Stolas. So basically, Stryker is a hired assassin who has a lot of money to make such things happen. And so Stryker tries to take down Moxie. Millie comes and tries to save him, but he's able to injure both of them, throw them in the basement. And Blitz comes in and knocks him a little bit to make him run away. And I believe Moxie stands up to the dad of Millie for a little bit because Millie got injured, so he blames Moxie for not being able to be strong enough to protect her. He talks back, gains a little bit of respect, and they're able to go back with Moxie having a little bit of respect from his family. But now he's got they have a revenge assassin that tries to kill Stolas, who's actually hired by the wife of Stolas, Stella, and is doing this right in front of Stolas, explaining the whole thing. Next, we have Truth Seekers, which is basically IMPs coming off a job. There is some Area 51-like people that are into paranormal and demonic creatures, and they're hunting them down. Find out that the IMP is existing. They found them. They're able to get Moxie and Blitz before they get into the portal. Millie's able to get away, but Luna and her go to save them. While they're on the way to save them, Moxie and Blitz are hit with truth serum, which all it does is basically let their heart juices flood, and it explains to both of them how they are with each other. Moxie wants to like Blitz, but because of his attitude towards everything, he feels it disrespectful. But he also has a respect to Blitz because he was the only person that is willing to show Moxie some kind of gratitude. He messes with him a lot, but he still gives him crap to do better, and he doesn't give him the gratitude when he does good. He tells him it's good, and there's a few jokes in there, but in the end, Luna and Millie catch up to them. They slaughter most of the agents except for 2. They do a lockdown. They get into a corner, but then Stolas comes in and bails them out. But guess what? Cameras are all over this facility, so all of IMP and Stolas were video canned and can be shown to the rest of the world, including government agents, to where they can hunt down them. Guess what? Another revenge plot. How many of these are going to be? Episode 7, which is Aussies, which was known as the finale, a part 1 of the finale, but it's really the finale, as most people see, because we went straight to season 2 after this one. Basically, Blitz tries to sneak in on an anniversary date with Moxie and Millie, trying to understand love, basically, and how they're able to be so compatible. And they're going to Aussies, which is a very expensive and very exclusive club where you need to wait months to years to get in. And it's a strip club that also does singing. It's in the Lust Ring, and basically they're able to get in. Blitz tries to get in, but gets blocked and says you need to be a couple, which is kind of dumb because that means Moxie and Millie didn't need a reservation like they said in the beginning of the episode. But anyways, Blitz calls up Stolas, makes it a date, but really it's to kind of stalk Moxie and Millie. With him being royalty, he's able to just push past everyone and get Blitz in. Blitz actually wants to learn more about Stolas wants to learn more about Blitz, but Blitz is so worried about the other two. And then Moxie goes to do a little serenade for Millie, but guess what? This is a lust ring. You're not supposed to actually show mushy, lovable stuff. You're supposed to be completely lustful. So Asmodeus, also Aussies, and the actual Fizzaroli come out, and basically Fizzaroli explains that those robo-fizzes are sold off to people. They can be basic demon people and sinners, and he just sells off robots, copies of himself. And the circus, the Lululand, was the biggest buyer of the robots, and basically they got a percentage of Lululand's currency, and it was a huge money in bank. So guess what? Whomever did that, IMP, who burnt down that circus, are going to be on our #1 hit list. Another revenge plot. Anyways, back to Moxie doing the serenade. Asmodeus and Frizzaroli jump him, say, "You're supposed to be doing lustful songs, not mushy stuff." And basically, before it gets too far, Blitz makes his opinion known. But guess what? That backfires because Frizzaroli's like, "You're one to talk, buddy. We were ex-friends, and you messed up almost every relationship you've ever had. Friend, family member, or relationship, or like partner. You have no room to talk." And there's also there's an accident that's alluded to by Frizzaroli. Used to have limbs, like he is a imp, but he had his limbs injured to where they need to be robotic implants. He also the white spots are also burns, possibly. That's like healing burns because you can't see red on a red skin, so they have white. So Frizzaroli's probably burned too, so that's how he probably lost his limbs. But anyways, while he's roasting him, guess who else is there? Veronica, and she's ready to sing Blitz to shame. But what's also noticed by Asmodeus, the Prince of Lust, that there's another prince there as the date to this imp, Stolas, which in the eye of the public of hell beings, that is laughable. That is imps are the lowest of the low on the scale of status. So the fact that he's there with this person who's barely making a business, and thanks to Veronica and Frizzaroli, him being anywhere near that guy makes him have bad reputation. And basically, both of them are in shame. They want to leave. Moxie and Millie do get to, they get to do a song eventually, but they do get kicked out. Blitz and Stolas get back to Stolas' manor. Stolas wants to continue the day by going inside and just watching a movie and talking, where Blitz is like, "I don't want to actually do anything at this point. I don't want to be screwed again." Which, if you didn't see the Truth Seekers episode, it's understood that like Elston Moxie's little respects to Blitz. Blitz's biggest thing running right now is that what Frizzaroli said is true. Blitz knows that he's a screw up, and he's screwed up every single relationship he's ever had, and is scared to lose his employees and his daughter. So he's scared of these little relationships he has to be ruined. On top of now he's got a prince, and he thinks that he's the pet to Stolas, where Stolas is actually wanting a meaningful relationship with Blitz. And Blitz is not seeing that. He feels very Blitz feels very caged up about it. So he just wants to go home. He actually reflects on himself and says, "I am horrible as a person." And he goes and sees his mom, sees his sister, which you gotta wonder what happened to the mom. The mom is like the biggest thing that he broke down on. So something has happened with his mom, which in season 2 we get a little snippet about, but we don't get the full understanding of it. Anyways, at the end we just have Blitz cry. Now with the episode 8, we can finally say season 1 is done, but we only get a little bit of a continuation of the actual story. So basically Luna, she met Tex, which was another hellhound, which is basically like a pet to most people. She met Veronica's bodyguard, Tex, who's this big bulky hellhound who has a relationship. She wanted to hit on him, but learns that he has a girlfriend, so she actually just uses him as a friend to go meet people. He actually invites her to a party center where she's going to meet other hellhounds and other demon spawn, hell spawn. And she runs into other hellhounds, she runs into other people. The thing is, whatever happened before Blitz adopted her has messed with her mental and her social construct. So she's trying to be an outrovert, but she's really an introvert, and she's also socially awkward. So she doesn't get a good conversation. She tries to run off some things, but it doesn't end up good. And when people are joking with her, she takes it as an offense and not an actual joke. So we meet, I believe, Queen Bee is the name of this episode. Which, guess what? This was the best cameo. Listen, Norman Reedus as Stryker was amazing, and the song he did, I didn't know Norman Reedus had a freaking voice on him. But we have one of my favorite pop stars, Keisha, who actually, she made the song Young, Die Young, and Vivzy made an official animation to that song that was her original works, where she showed what she wanted to make. Like, she made the shape of a hellhound as for Keisha. But anyways, she comes back to voice Queen Bee and makes a song for her, and she voices this big party central person, which looks like she's a Queen Bee looks like she is a hellhound crossed with an actual bumblebee. So she might be a breeded powerhouse for some reason, because she is actually looked up on as a higher hellhound. So she actually might be someone who goes by her own. Anyways, she's one of the few people that tries to actually go along with text and actually bring Luna into a friend group. Eventually, Luna can't handle it and texts Blitz to come get her. Blitz, being the protective father, is like, that's my daughter, I'm going. He's about to pick her up, but then people who actually recognize Blitz comes from the party and says, hey man, we want you to hype the party up even more. And Luna actually gets hit on by someone, and Luna's like, I don't know, I kind of want to go back in. And the fact that Blitz is recognized means she can get pointers from what he's doing. So Blitz goes in, outdrinks everyone, he's a party body, and it works out. Luna starts getting into how things are supposed to be hype, start cheering, howling, and she actually gets a female hellhound group going with her, gets into the party business. But then Queen Bee in text comes and says, hey, your dad is kind of making the vibe go bad. It's noticeable. I believe the original bodies that know Blitz would notice that he's off. So basically, this comes right immediately after Ozzy's, which means the mental, he was sitting on the couch crying moments before he came to get Luna. So he's still in an emotional state. And now he's drinking his emotions away, which means he's a high emotional state, which we actually go and find out that he's trying to canoodle with everyone. He's completely depressed and all that, so he's throwing off the vibe of the party. So Luna gets him out of there. They go back. He tries to play dumb like nothing's happening. They finally get back, and he's about to go to bed. And Luna, tries to comfort him, tries to figure out what's going on, and he comes out with a drunk response of, are you going to leave me? Are you going to... I know I'm a screw-up. Are you going to be one of the people that leave me too, Luna? And Luna's like, no, you're my dad. I will stick by you. She sees Blitz as an actual mentor figure and a father figure. Someone who actually gave a crap about her. Where in... I believe in season 2 we get a little bit of a showing off, but basically Luna was such a bad character that when Blitz has any kind of recognition, she kind of adores it in her mind and doesn't show it until she's around a corner or something. But anyways, I'm ranting on too much, but that's all of season 1. But I did get into more detail than I did in others. And now that I can actually see what I was looking at, I made a lot more sense than I did in Owl House. Anyways, I'll see you guys in the next one, which hopefully will be a better summary video than this one. Quicker summary video. Or a bolt topic. Hopefully a better one than those controversial ones I've been making recently. Hopefully I can make one that's actually good. But anyways, I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.